Here, I wanted to share with you a bit more about this service-based selling approach. So the success story in this case actually is me. I came out of university, I got a job in investment banking for 10 years. I probably avoided selling as much as I possibly could. In about a decade I was in investment banking, I became a head of structuring because it meant I could go along to sales things with other people. Why did I hate selling so much? Well, that's primarily because I had this vision of selling of pushy. It was all about the sale and the money, not about me. I didn't really feel very appreciated, and that could be anything from in a business setting all the way through to buying a car, or replacement windows, or builders, or whatever it is. Right. When I became self-employed after my investment banking career, I realised, of course, actually you've got to be good at many things. It's not just the delivery bit. All I wanted to do was just to coach and speak and mentor and help people. And of course, you don't actually have anyone there to do that for. So hence there are two very important parts of being self-employed, one of which is creating leads. The other one is actually some of those leads becoming paid customers, which is the selling process. So I had this kind of vision of selling, which felt probably icky to me, right? I had this vision of like, the only way to say it is that I didn't want people to think I was a knob or these pushy salespeople that are just in it for themselves and not for the client. And I just didn't want to be seen that way. And of course, the reaction to that is you end up being very, very passive, very hands-off, and you end up actually not serving the client in another way. Rather than pushing something onto them that maybe they don't need, what you end up doing is actually not creating any sense of urgency for the client at all, not really helping them understand where they're currently at and actually why they're annoyed, why they want a solution to get out of where they currently are. Because, people tend to stay where they are. So if you're not helping the client to develop a sense of their own urgency, probably more accurate, you're actually failing them in another way as well. You're kind of letting your ego get in the way of actually properly serving the client. And I got mentored and trained on this. I actually got mentored on selling from stage from two really cool guys, very ethical, very high values, good morals, Brett McFall and Steve Esser. And even then you got to kind of find your own way as well. Like, what's your flavour? How do you want to do it? So while I thanked them for the foundations, I ended up sort of working on other stuff. I have to thank Rich Lippman partly for this as well, because I asked him a very sort of brief workshop he did in the UK, kind of what his approach was. So I kind of built on that as well. And then maybe you end up building on what I'm talking about as well. But fundamentally, it's sitting on the same side of the table, doing it that way. And I went literally from nothing, because I left banking. I went to do my own stuff. I did a few other bits of consultancy and what have you. But I ended up building a 6-figure business through properly serving people. So through conversations. Sometimes I would say no, it's not right for them. Sometimes they would say no. Sometimes we'd have to work through the land of maybe. We'll talk about that in my workbook. But fundamentally, it came from me feeling good that actually what I was offering would genuinely help someone. So if that's you, if you're someone that either you're transitioning out of the corporate world and you're thinking about selling your stuff, whether it's coaching, mentoring, speaking, what have you, or you're a coach that's got some of the way there, but it still doesn't feel, it feels a little bit clunky, but you've made progress, but it's a little bit clunky, then comment brainstorm below and we can have a conversation. If you're just starting out, just look at my videos, implement what you can, get to a certain point, probably going to make a few tens of grand a year, and then we can talk after that, but it's actually better that you play with it. Okay, great. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.